everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So today I'm here to talk about some of the whiplash and the hype effect that has come full swing already on the Pixel 6 and the Pixel 6 Pro. And I think I might have even had an instance about a month ago or a couple weeks ago where I said, there may be an I told you so moment. Maybe not, who knows, whatever. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not that petty. But I told you so. So, I made a video talking about, was the Pixel 6 too late? You know, I thought, hey, can it recreate some of the magic that it did in the past? Are the cameras going to be as revolutionary as we think they're going to be? Or people lead them to believe? Because there was a lot of hype. These two phones, the Pixel 6 and the Pixel 6 Pro, have been put up on this immense pedestal, which I was very, very cautious about and talked to a lot of people and said, look, this thing is overhyped. And that was before I had it. I mean, you could see it. The S21 Ultra wasn't overhyped. The S21 wasn't overhyped. The OnePlus 9, they get the standard fare. But all of a sudden, because Google drug everything out for like 3 months, had everybody clamoring about, oh, the new Tensor chip, oh, all these great, amazing things. And then it gets here. And it's a good phone. I mean, they're both good phones. And that's the funny thing here. But everywhere you see, it sucks. It has this problem. It has that problem. Going back to iPhone, the battery life is terrible. It's overheating. Oh my gosh, the fingerprint sensor. It is just being nitpicked to death. Like, death by like 5,000 social media influencer cuts. And the media is just, I don't even know if it's the media. It's not even traditional media. It's just like tech influencers. And whatever. People can do whatever they want. I'm here to talk to the consumer. Because you're probably sitting there going like, all right, we went from this phone's going to be amazing to the week the phone came out, this phone is amazing. And now it's like we're swinging the pendulum back to the other side. I'm here to tell you, rest assured, they're really good. And I like them. And you probably will too. Because you're just a normal, reasonable, rational person who likes the phone. And that's okay. You can like the phone. Here, I'm going to write you a prescription right now. Here, take this and go get it filled. You can like the phone. Or if you don't like the prescription analogy, here, take this check. I'm going to write you a check. Take it. Cash it to the bank. You can like this phone. And that's okay. And that's what I want to talk about in this video. Because at this point in time, there are so many voices screaming out into the void where I'm just like, I was gone for this last weekend. I've released Pixel videos. Quite honestly, I'm tired of talking about the Pixel phone. Not that I don't like it. Not that you guys don't deserve content, but geez Louise, this just feels like it's never ending. So, let's go ahead and talk about the phone in a nice, normal, calm, reasonable fashion. Set some expectations, look at it, and say, hey, is the phone any good or is it not any good? And place that into some context. Before we get into that, we're 3 minutes into the video. I'm not going to give you my normal spiel. If you like this, hit the like and the subscribe button and the notification bell. If you don't like it, bye. There's a lot else you can watch on YouTube. I don't blame you. I probably wouldn't watch my videos either. So, anyway, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the phone. So, I like the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro. They are not failures. They are not doomed. They are not overheating into oblivion. The battery life is not trash. The screen fingerprint sensor is not the worst thing that's ever happened since the plague. Are these all individual issues? Yes. Yes, they are. And they are things that should be taken into context because a lot of people are upset because there are bugs. And I have bugs all the time, especially with certain apps. Honestly, I haven't even got like a user interface crash, or I've seen some of the things people have been reporting. I'm like, well, I haven't really experienced some of that stuff, but everybody's phone is different. But let me tell you, it's Android 12. It's not the phone. People have been reporting them on their Pixel 4s, their 4XLs, their 5s, whatever else. I've got a Pixel 5a. It has Android 12 problems as well. Android 12 was not ready for prime time. And you could go back and look at this. There were some people that were like, oh yeah, Google's trying to hide things. That's why they have this dual embargo. Hey, maybe they were. If they made it where people could talk about this stuff as soon as the phone hit the market, you probably would have a lot of negative sentiment. And largely, there was a lot of positive sentiment. And I told you guys, I said, look, I am not making a video until this embargo lifts. I don't play those shenanigans. It's not my thing. Good, bad, or indifferent. I'm not going to hype up a phone just by holding it up and talking about it and going, oh, this is so cool. It's the best looking phone Google's ever made. That adds no value to the conversation. So, looking at it from a rational perspective, I've got it. I've been using it. I've been using it almost for 2 weeks. I haven't even switched back to my iPhone 13 Pro. Granted, I'm still in my 2-week review period where I am like, this is prime time it for 2 weeks. I haven't missed my iPhone 13 Pro. And for those of you who have watched me for years, you know I'm not a big iPhone fan, but I'm also not a big stock Android fan. Like I appreciate the Google phones for what they are, but typically I just go back to a Samsung, or I would go back to my BlackBerry, or maybe even a OnePlus. Who knows? I use a wide, varied net. I cast a wide net when it comes to my phone usage. Right now I'm using the Duo 2 and I'm using this. I like them all. They're good phones, and Google did a perfectly good job. Some people are like, oh, it has overheating problems because it was based off of an Exynos processor. Who cares? It's got customized cores that they designed. They designed it, yes. Did they use the framework from a Exynos processor? I think they did. And they did a lot better job than Samsung did with it, so I don't know what you people are talking about. Try using an actual Exynos processor like the 9810. Like, yeah, it's just the things that get nitpicked on this. It sends really bad messages because there's so much wrapped up in hyperbole and sentiment and emotion and feels instead of just looking at it and testing it objectively. You don't see someone sit down and go, oh, okay, here, let me show you my battery test that I've performed for the last 5 days after I've used it for at least 5 days and adaptive battery has had a chance to get set up. That's one of the things these phones do. They rely on adaptive learning. They rely on machine learning and artificial intelligence, all the stuff programmed in. Android is designed to learn how you use the phone over a period of time, so it knows what to cut off in the background, so it knows what not to do, so it knows what to do at the right time to save battery. So if you test the Pixel 6 in the first 3 or 4 days on the battery life, it's not going to be impressive. If you don't know that, you might just pick it up and use it the first day and go, oh, it's crap, let me get rid of it. I've seen it happen. People have lambasted this thing. Big word there. People have lambasted this phone for the battery life. I have critically tested, day in and day out, use the S21 Ultra, use the OnePlus 9 Pro, use, I don't know, whatever else this year, the Fold 3, the Z Flip 3. If you go look back at every single one of these phones, I basically have a battery video, and I've been critical about all of them. The Pixel 6 Pro has lasted me longer, screen on time, 100% like maxed out as I'm using it through the day. It beats out for me the S21 Ultra, the Note 20 Ultra, the Fold 3, the Fold 2, the Z Flip 3, and the OnePlus 9 Pro. All those other phones are usually dead for me, usually around 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. This one makes it till like 8 o'clock in the evening. I'm averaging 6 hours plus screen on time. I went on a train. I didn't have Wi-Fi access for almost 3 days. Only 5G, which it was searching a lot of the time because it's a moving train from state to state across the middle of nowhere. And I still got about 5 hours and 20 minutes of screen on time, I think I averaged for 2 days. That's with basically 90% brightness, 5G on, no Wi-Fi. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. It gets very good battery life as far as I'm concerned. The Pixel 6 is probably better. I haven't used this one as much because I bought it on Thursday and then I left on Friday. I'm now, well, today's Tuesday that you're watching this. So I'm using the Pixel 6 now. I'm honestly expecting it to perform better than the 6 Pro. It still has a 4600 milliamp battery. It has a smaller screen. It has 90 hertz refresh rate. It has full HD instead of Quad HD Plus. I mean, there's some things there that are going to help save you on the battery, and it's only 400 less milliamps. So, arguably, I think it might be slightly better. Here's the thing. There's context for everything. So, whenever you watch a video and someone's like, oh, this sucks, what are they basing that on? Are they basing that on fact? A measurable, observable event inside the phone in a objective manner? Or are they just saying, oh, I used the phone today and it sucked? You know, is it hype or is it grounded in reality-based testing? So, and I'm not talking about Geekbench. I'm talking about, do you watch these people? Do you trust them? And do you believe what they're saying? And then is it actually like something where they just hold it up and they go, oh, this phone is terrible. This phone is terrible. Blah, 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 blah. I don't watch other people's reviews. I don't watch other people's videos. I haven't even seen all of MKBHD's video yet. I don't care. People can do whatever they want. This is my tech channel. So, talking about these phones, people complain every time a phone comes out. The S21 or the S21 series phones, they have these problems. The OnePlus phones, they have these problems. People were complaining about the focus on the OnePlus 9 Pro. I found it to be pretty good. I actually kind of prefer the shots the OnePlus 9 Pro is taking over the S21 Ultra. I even went out and made a video about it. So, we talk about the Z Fold 3. People are like, oh, the battery life's terrible. It's only getting 4.5 to 5 hours of screen on time. It's so terrible. Well, I'm getting 6 with my with my Pixel 6 Pro. So, there you can look at this stuff and you can nitpick it. You can say, okay, the fingerprint sensor. Yeah, it's pants. And there should be a facial recognition scanner in there to offset some of that stuff. And here's another thing. When you put a screen protector on it, it doesn't get better. So, just throwing that out there as well. But anyway, we've had these issues before. And then everyone's like, oh, that phone's amazing. That phone's good. I think that there's this vacuum of hypercriticality whenever it comes to the Pixel series phones. Because everybody likes Samsung so much. Everybody likes iPhone so much. And then it doesn't matter what the heir apparent is. When the heir apparent was OnePlus, it got ripped apart. When the heir apparent was LG as the number 3, it got ripped apart. Now maybe it's Google. Who knows? Whatever is not, it's like there's this flow chart. And anytime a phone comes out, instantly you get the review as soon as it comes out, and then you get the comparison between the other phones, and then Samsung and Apple always win. It's like Superman. He always saves the day. Well, when you're a Pixel phone or when you're a LG phone, when they used to occupy this space, when you're a OnePlus phone, you're always the bad guy. It doesn't matter how shiny you are. It's always shiny. It's always gimmicky. It's always a sheen. It's one of those things where it's like, well, it does this good, but. Or it does this good, but. Or, yeah, I like this about it, but. There's a lot of those but commas after any sort of accolade or any sort of opinion when it comes to the Pixel phone. And I want to remove that from the equation. It's a very good phone. It's very capable. It's very powerful. And it'll do what you want it to do. You can play Fortnite. You can take some amazing pictures. Are the cameras perfect? No, they're not. Are they very good? Yes. Do they do things that the iPhone and the Samsung phones don't do? Yes. Do iPhone and Samsung do things better than the Pixel in some areas? Yes. That's how it works. This is like going down to a car dealership and saying because it's X brand versus Y brand. So you put a Ford next to a Chevy next to a Toyota. And you say, well, the Ford's better. Why? Well, because it's a Ford. And then the next guy goes, oh, well, the Chevy is better. Why? Well, because it's a Chevy. And then you look at the other guy and he goes, no, guys, the Toyota's better because it's a Toyota. What metric are you looking at? Is it the horsepower? Is it the transmission? Is it the towing capacity? Is it a 4x4? Is it a 2x4? Does it have a 9-inch digital infotainment system? Like what? Why is it better? Just because you like something doesn't mean it's better. Just because you don't like something doesn't mean it's not better. And just because something may not be here, like there's like a slight 5% disparity, who cares? Who cares? I don't. God, I should have turned this light red. Hold on. I can't do it. I'm recording. Shoot. Anyway, I wasn't anticipating this turning to a rant, but I've just had so much of it. I don't want to listen to it anymore. And I feel so sorry for people who are not tech enthusiasts. If you're just somebody who's out there trying to decide, should I get this phone? Will I like this phone? Will it serve me well? Will it last me years? You're not getting a fair picture of what this phone can do. You're not getting a fair shake. You got the, oh, it's amazing before it came out. You got the, oh, it's super amazing once it got here. Now you're getting, oh, it has all these problems. People aren't telling you the truth a week and a half later. Give it another week or two after people quit reviewing this phone, and then whoever's still covering it and cares about the phone is probably going to give you a good picture of what the phone can actually do. But look, 5 years of support, the Tensor chip, it has all the Google stuff whenever it comes to the smart assistant, when it comes to the AI, when it comes to the really cool smart features inside the phone, like your voice translation, like your call screening, like it does some cool, neat things. It does. That's where Google shines. And it's got plenty of power. You can play Fortnite. You can play PUBG. You can play Call of Duty Mobile. You can play Genshin Impact. It should last you all day. I don't... There is no flagship Android phone out there that will last you 2 days if you use it heavily. Like, if you use any Android phone heavily, it's going to last you 1 day. Just like the iPhone does. The iPhone, it has so much automated stuff going on behind the scenes that it controls, it doesn't let you touch, that, yeah, it probably will last longer. This is a first step in a new era for Google with the Tensor chipset, with having the hardware and the software on the same page. I think it's going to be really, really good once they get it refined and polished. Android 12 does have some issues. The fingerprint sensor is annoying, works most of the time, but Google really cheaped out there. It could have been better. Is the battery life good? I think it's perfectly fine. If I can't kill it before like 6 o'clock in the evening, you're not going to kill it in a day and a half, just speaking frankly. Like a normal person, if you just pick it up in the morning, you do some casual usage of your phone all day, it's going to be great. Plenty of power, plenty of sophistication, lots of nice Google implementations, lots of great camera stuff. It needs to be refined a little bit more. There are some areas that they need to shore up, some focus issues when dealing with certain types of photo situations, and there's some heat issues that I'm still trying to flesh out a little bit, because if you try to use your phone as a hotspot, this thing turns into an inferno. If you try to use it as a video camera, if you're recording a lot of video, this thing gets really hot. If you're trying to stream stuff for long periods of time, I was watching the World Series on it and streaming in 4K on the phone, and it was like a small sun in my hand. So under normal conditions, I'm not really experiencing these heat issues, but when you do things like that, you want to play Genshin Impact and play some extreme gaming, if you want to use it for a hotspot, use it for streaming for long periods of time, it's going to warm up. Other phones do too. Not this hot that I've seen, and that concerns me. So there are levels of concern that I have for it, but by and large, I went out. I like the Pixel 6 Pro so much. I spent $600 of my hard-earned personal money to buy the 6 so I could test it out, because I legitimately think that it probably is going to be the best Android option for most people. It's really good. And as soon as they can get some of this stuff worked out over the next couple of weeks with some software updates, by the time they're actually in stock, then you can go get one and have a lot of confidence in it, I think, at that point. Right now, I mean, you can't find them anywhere. So I don't want to say don't buy one. I don't want to overlook the fact that there are some small issues with it. But, if we played that game, then we would have never recommended the S20 Ultra when it came out and it had horrible focus issues. We would have never recommended the iPhone whenever it came out with iOS 15 or 14 when it came out recently and had all these bugs. You have to look at the large picture. Take this stuff with a grain of salt. Look and see what kind of issues people are having. Is that something that's concerning to you? Overall, not too concerning for me. Some of it, Android 12 just needs to be fixed. And if you've got any Android phone, like if you're running any Google phone with Android, then you're going to have a lot of these same issues. So, maybe just stay away from Google phones for a week or two. I hope they get this squared away soon. I just want to make this video, and it's like 20 minutes now. So there's probably like 8 of you still watching this video, and I greatly appreciate that, by the way. Thank you. But I was just sitting around, I'm like, can we just stop this already? Please. It's either go out and crucify the phone and quit talking about it, or just quit fighting with each other, quit bickering over it, quit nitpicking it to death, and give people a review. Let them know what you think, move on. And if you're still having these issues, make it apparent. If it's a big enough issue, tell Google. Tell Google to go fix it. And let's not get wrapped around the axle in hyperbole and just nitpicking this phone to death, because it really is a good phone. And I think a lot of people are getting a disservice by some of the videos and the information that they're getting. So that's all I got in this video. I'm done. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave those down in the comment section. I'll get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, if that was even possible, you're a saint. And I appreciate you watching to the end. You're probably already a subscriber. And if you're not, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And I'm going to cut this off now. So thanks a lot. I'll see you next time. And thank you so much for watching.